So, good day everyone. I am Diana G. De La Cruz, the second reporter. Relationship with other woman. Rizal had plenty of time for love despite his academic studies at the University of Santo Tomas and extracurricular activities at the Ateneo. He was a romantic daydreamer who sipped the nectar of love. Nectar of love it means it is the sweetness in our lives. He paid court to a young woman in Calamba, shortly losing Segunda Katigbak, his first love. So, Segunda Katigbak means Miss Ill, describing her as fair with seductive and attractive eyes. Rizal, he boarded at Doña Cosia Liva's house in Intramuros. Kapitan Juan and Kapitana Sanday Valenzuela, the parents of a lovely girl named Leonor who lived next door to Dona Concha. Leonor Valenzuela, the tall girl with a bearing who was almost as tall as Jose himself. Rizal, a medical student from Calamba, was a welcome visitor at the Valenzuela home. So, dumoto nga dito niya na ila-ila si Leonor Valenzuela. Rizal wrote his letter, a love letter, in invisible ink and sent them to her. However, proposed marriage to Urang or Leonor as he did to Segunda. Next is Rizal's next relationship was Leonor Rivera. Leonor Rivera, his cousin from Camiling, daughter of Antonio Rivera, student at La Concordia College where Soledad, Rizal's younger sister, was enrolled. She was born on April 11, 1876 in Camiling, Tarlac. So Leonor Rivera was a frail, beautiful woman described romance blossom between Jose and Leonor. They decided to get married to keep their intimate relationship hidden from their parents and friends. Leonor signed her letters to Rizal as Taimis. Taimins is a code name that Leonor used to refer to herself in her letters to Rizal. Victim of brutality by Spanish officer. Rizal's first encountered Spanish brutality as a freshman medical student at the University of Santo Tomas during his summer vacation in Calamba in 1880. So, while si Rizal naglakaw sa street nga gabi na, wala siya kabantay nga naa di ay Guardia Civil Lieutenant nga dapat ug labay kanila is kinahanglan nga magsalot ka or mag-greet man lang og good evening. So mao to gigamitan si Rizal og sword og naigo siya sa likod. So mao yan kabrutal ang mga Spanish sa una. When si Rizal naka-recover na is nagtugan siya kay General Primo de Vera about the incident, but kay mo to nga injuman si Rizal is iyang compliant is nawala ra gihapoy pulos. Next is 1879. Rizal's encountered a literacy contest sponsored by Literario or Artistic Literary Lyceum. So moto pom dala pom moto ang mga pom ni Rizal. Ala Juventud Filipina or to the youth to the Filipino youth, El Consejo de los Dioses or the Council of the Gods. So abot ani nga poem is Rizal first nalaog siya first place. Rizal published other works including Abidi El Aziz A. Mahoma in 1879 and Junto al Pasig or beside the Pasig. Mo po ni ang ah, mga poem ni Rizal. So, when Rizal entered the competition, Father Rector of the Ateneo assisted him in obtaining the necessary reference materials. The contest had a number of competitors, but Rizal received the first prizes, a gold ring engraved with a bust of Cervantes. In December 8, 1880, a zarzuela performed by the Athenians on the feast day of Immaculate Conception, patroness of the Ateneo. In 1880, Rizal wrote a Pilipinas, a sonnet for the album of the Society of Sculpture. In 1881, he wrote Al MRP Pablo Ramon, a poem in tribute to the Ateneo's rector, Father Pablo Ramon. In 1880, Rizal established compañerismo or comradeship as secret society of Filipino students at UST. Rizal was widely regarded as a champion of the Filipinos student. As time goes by, Rizal made up his mind to go to Europe to study and curiously enough, some years later has the pleasure of sending back to Manila. Rizal's academic performance in UST was not as impressive as that in Ateneo. He was a good student in medicine but not as gifted as he was in arts and letters. So, 'di ba, makita naman nato sa mga poem ni Rizal kung unsa gyud siya kagahot mobuhat atong mga ato nga mga poem. Rizal decided to continue his studies in Spain shortly after finishing his fourth year of medical school. Despite of his enormous literary success, he was dissatisfied with his stay at the Dominican-owned school because of this reason. So first is the Dominican professor were hostile to him. So ang mga professor dito kang Rizal is kuan murag kalaban siya kay di ba si Rizal is a Filipino student lang. Second is the Spaniard discriminate the Filipino student based on their race. So dito is ang murag kita nga Filipino student is dili ta dawat sa mga Spaniard o kay mo siguro to atong mga mo to nga ginag-discriminate ta kay dili man tatawat nila. Third is the teaching method was antiquated and oppressive. So ang mga teaching dito is kuan kay Pilipino man ka murag ginaapi-api lang ka nila dito or ginadaog-daog ka. Fourth is he did not receive high scholastic honors as a result of his professor's attitude. So, di ba, sumao to, yan ka mga malupit ang mga Spaniard sa una sa mga Pilipino ug kang Rizal. His decision to continue his education abroad was supported by his brother Pasiano, his two sisters Saturnina and Lucia, as well as his uncle Antonio Rivera and some of his friends. Indeed, Rizal's journey began with a travel to Spain. Rizal's first travels abroad 1882-1887. Rizal's journey to Spain. To avoid detection by the Spanish authorities and the fires, Rizal's departures for Spain was kept secret. Even his own parents didn't know because his mother wouldn't let him. Only his brother, uncle, sisters, Nining and Lucia, the Valenzuela family, Pedro Paterno, Mateo Evangelista, the Ateneo Jesuit fathers, and few of their friends were present. So, sa pag-ato niya atong Spanish, Pag-adto niya dito sa Spain is iyang gidala nga name is Jose Mercado. Before leaving, he wrote farewell letters to his beloved parents and his sweetheart Leonor Rivera. In May 3, 1882, Rizal boarded the Spanish steamer SS Salvadora bound to Singapore. So he was only the Filipino among the group of Spaniards, Britons, and Indian Negrios. Donato Licia, the ship captain, befriended Rizal. In May 9, SS Salvador arrived in Singapore. He stayed at the Hotel de la Paz for 2 days and went on a sightseeing tour of the city. May so after Singapore, Rizal boarded the ship Dijima, a French steamer, and set sail for Europe. It was a bigger, cleaner ship that carried more passengers. In May 7, the Dijimna arrived in Point Gali, a seacoast town in southern Ceylon. From Colombo, the Dijimna continued its journey across the Indian Ocean to the African coast. The following stopover was in Aden, next to Suez, I mean. The Suez Canal was traversed by the Dijimna in 5 days. Rizal was overjoyed because it was his first trip through the canal which Ferdinand de Lesseps had built. In June 11, the ship Port said on its way to Europe. Rizal arrived in Naples. In June 12, 1882, the stream arrived in Marseilles, France. Sa mao to, abot na ang kisakyan diha nga panahon ni Rizal. Rizal said his goodbye to his fellow passengers. He went to the fabled Keteo, where Dantes was imprisoned. He stayed in Marseilles for 2.5 days. Barcelona, Spain. Rizal left Marseilles and continued his journey by rail, arriving in Barcelona. His initial impression of Barcelona was negative. He regarded it as unsightly and filthy, and its inhabitants are as welcoming. Later, he changed his mind and came to like the city. He also discovered its people to be open-hearted, hospitable, and brave. Also, Rizal wrote his first written article on Spanish soil, a nationalistic essay called El Amor Patrio in Barcelona. El Amor Patrio clearly signals a qualitative shift in Rizal's nationalism. He then sent his article to Jaryong Tagalog publisher Basilio Teodoro Moran. So, El Amor Patrio means love of the country. Rizal received bad news about the cholera outbreak ravaging Manila and the provinces. Many people dead and more dead every day. The bad news was that his beloved Leonor Rivera was becoming thinner as a result of her loved one's absence. Panciano advised Rizal to continue his medical studies in Madrid, and Rizal followed his advice and left Barcelona in 1882. Madrid, Spain. Higher education. Rizal enrolled in the Universidad Central de Madrid on November 3, 1882. He enrolled in courses in medicine, philosophy, and later. He also studied painting and sculpture at the San Fernando Academy on Fine Arts, and he took private lessons in French, German, and English, and he diligently practiced fencing and shooting at the San Fernando Hall of Arms. Rizal was awarded the degree of licentiate in medicine. He was unable to receive diploma for the degree of licentiate in medicine and the diploma for the degree of licentiate in philosophy and later because he did not present his thesis or pay the corresponding fees. So, mauni si Leonor Rivera ang sa left side, tas mauni ang sa right side naman is si Jose Rizal. So, maura to, thank you and God bless everyone.